Next on NFL Primetime, the Ravens-Steelers, as expected, another close, hard-hitting contest. But in the end, the Pittsburgh playoff formula played out to perfection again for the home team. Meanwhile, in the NFC, 1 versus 6, but this one not at all about the math. NFL Primetime has that.
Welcome to NFL Primetime, presented by E-Trade.
Turning point of the game in Atlanta between the Falcons and the Packers, 21-14. Matt Ryan and company down by 7 points late in the half, and Tramon Williams with his second interception of the day, and this one goes to the house. 70 yards, and the route was on. Packers win 48-21. More on that later.
Football is a heavyweight fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the showdown in the Steel City. In one corner, the Baltimore Ravens.
There's no friends at all.
In the other corner, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
They're the bullies, you know. It's like a Mike Tyson effect.
It's a man's game, boy.
Two top defenses go toe-to-toe in the battle in the Burgh.
This is officially over.
How prophetic that actually is for Ray Lewis. Hi, everybody, and welcome into another edition of NFL Primetime. As always, glad you are here with us. Trey Wingo, along with Merrill, Hoge, and Trent Dilfer.
Morning, Trey.
Good morning, yes, or good evening later as we go farther west across the country. Bottom line, Saturday in Pittsburgh for the 18th time. 18th time since 2003. Ravens and Steelers hooked up. Third time in the postseason. Ray Lewis and company had lost the previous two matchups in the playoffs against Big Ben and company. First quarter, there is no drive. Steelers, there is no score. Steelers driving. Ben Roethlisberger to Mike Wallace. That's incomplete. But wait a minute. One of the many hankies we saw from Jeff Triplett's crew. Pass interference. Trent, you like the call?
That was a little ticky-tacky to start the game, but that's what speed does. Mike Wallace creates a little panic by the Baltimore Ravens.
They pull that arm back, you'll almost get that call every time, and Rashard Mendenhall makes them pay. Steelers up 7-0. Ensuing Ravens possession, 3rd and 15. Flacco going for Derek Mason, underthrown, but wait a minute. In a theme, we've got a flag on the play, pass interference. Good call here. Anthony Madison runs right into him.
We're all even.
Push.
I agree.
The push. 33-yard penalty leads to a first down, and 2 plays later, Ray Rice, who gets right by Troy Polamalu. A raucous Raven response. What a play, Merrill.
Great job of getting hesitation, so then those linebackers can't attack. You get a seal here and a seal there, and you got Ray Rice in the alley with a great broken tackle on Troy Polamalu.
Ties it up at 7. Ensuing Steelers possession, 2nd and 10, and Terrell Suggs was in Ben Roethlisberger's grill all day. The ball comes out, and everybody just stands around until Corey Redding says, wait a minute, I didn't hear a whistle. Corey Redding remembers what his Little League coaches told him. Play it till you hear the whistle. It's a touchdown. The Steelers would challenge, but the play is held up, Trent.
Yeah, and it's understandable why the Pittsburgh Steelers don't move, because the ball shoots forward, but this is clearly a fumble. It's not excusable for a Steeler not to see the ball on the ground and go jump on it, though.
Exactly. If the ball is down, cover it up. Make them make a call. Second quarter, still 14-7. Rashard Mendenhall. No, it's a fumble. And how he fumbled is a little unusual. Chris Kimoato's hindquarters accidentally come into play here, and as you can see, it knocks the ball loose.
Yeah, but we always talk about keeping the ball high and tight to the chest, not the cheek. You don't want any space with the ball. He takes the ball away from his body, ball comes out.
Ed Reed gets it, and then the Ravens trying to make something happen, and there he goes to Ray Rice again, who gets by Troy Polamalu. Again, it's a first down. 3 plays later on 3rd and goal. Todd Heap, who had a huge game against Kansas City, touchdown for the 4-yard score. Trent, if this is on defense, it's a pick. If you're on offense, it's a rub route.
It's a rub. There's no contact right there. Nice play design by Cam Cameron. Great execution by Joe Flacco and Todd Heap. That's a rub, not a pick.
So they're down. The Steelers are 14 at the half, 21-7. Third quarter, boy, did things turn around. Little screen pass to Ray Rice. You're looking at the first time all season that he fumbles. Ryan Clark pokes the ball out. and Woodley comes up with it.
And see where the ball goes, away from the body. A lot of space there. You can knock it out on the front and from behind.
And right away, the Steelers dial it back, just like the Ravens in the first half. Turnovers into touchdowns. That one to Heath Miller. Now the Ravens trying to get something back, and James Harrison says, not today. One of his 3 sacks, and it's a 3-and-out, and boy, you could just sense the momentum, and Hines changing in favor of the Steelers. Next Ravens possession. Flacco going deep. Trent, you got to throw this outside, not inside.
Deep corner route, if you're going to miss, you have to miss outside. Can't leave it inside. That's why Ryan Clark's able to come from the middle of the field all the way over, make the interception. Very bad throw by Joe Flacco.
So now the turnovers piling up, and the Steelers once again cashing in. Hines Ward, 8-yard strike, bang, just like that. We're tied up at 21. So the last thing the Ravens can afford is another turn. No. Joe Flacco can't get the snap from center, Trent, and Brett Kiesel is there.
Well, the center quick snaps him. You can tell Joe Flacco's not expecting. His foot's in the air, sending somebody in motion. The rest of the offense is stationary. This is a little bit of a panic move by the center for the Baltimore Ravens.
This is the third quarter the Ravens will not relish. 9 plays, -4 yards, 3 turnovers. Amazingly, it was only tied at 21 with that. Fourth quarter, it's 3rd and 11. Boy, we saw a lot of this from the Steelers, trying to get big plays on 3rd down. Antonio Brown comes up 1 yard short. But when you have a quarterback who's the size of most pulling guards, you go for it on 4th and 1, and look at the effort by Ben, moving the legs.
That's clearly a play of wanting it more, the desire and the commitment right there. But you're right, his size does help him make those kind of plays.
But 3 plays later on 3rd and 6, there's Suggs again. Suggs also 3 sacks. The Steelers settle for 3. They go up 24-24. 24-21 later in the 4th. Steelers punting. Lardarius Webb, he's going to go 55 yards. It's a and a recurring theme, we have laundry on the field. There's a holding. Now listen, you could probably call this either way. Marcus Smith clutching Will Allen, and then little acting.
Well, once you get your hand extended from a player or a jersey comes out, it's going to be holding every time, Trent.
That's a bad call.
All right, that's what they called. So now Flacco trying to dial it up now. Finds Heap again for 21 yards all the way down to the Steelers' 8. But here is perhaps the critical play and what summed up the Ravens' offense. 3rd and goal, Anquan Bolden. Trent, you got to make that catch.
Anquan Bolden must make this catch, even though he hasn't been targeted much in the game. I feel for him, but in that critical moment, that ball is to you in the red zone, you have to make that play.
We'll see that mistake coming up a little later as well, so it's tied at 24 after the field goal. There's Corey Redding again. Steelers not blocking him. He sacks Big Ben. It's a 9-yard loss. It's 3rd and 19. So, of course, on 3rd and 19, let Antonio Brown run right past you, and it's a perfect throw with a little David Tyree, Trent, holding it to the helmet.
And that is why it is the primetime dime, because there is no defense for a perfect throw. It is a mistake by Lardarius Webb, but great speed by Antonio Brown and a perfect dime by Big Ben, as Merrill said, cemented his great legacy in the playoffs.
You saw him just holding the helmet and the ball together like Tyree in the Super Bowl, and there's Rashard Mendenhall cutting back, and he's in for the score. That's the good news for the Steelers with 1:33 to play. Nice run.
Yeah, very seldom can you stop in the hole, get back in the hole, and score, but Rashard Mendenhall's power allows him to do that.
But here's the bad news. Kemoatu comes flying in like a 340-pound missile, leading with his head on sportsmanlike conduct penalty. Short kickoff puts the ball to the Steelers' 48, so Joe Flacco and company are set up. The 3rd and 10, though, Ziggy Hood. Ziggy played guitar, and he comes down with Lawrence Timmons to drop Joe Flacco.
You had 4 opportunities, the Baltimore Ravens did. They went -8 yards. Lawrence Timmons hurdling Ray Rice. Ziggy Hood getting in there. Just an absolute meltdown by the Baltimore Ravens offensive line and running back. And then you have an opportunity on 4th and 18 to make a play. TJ Houshmandzadeh hits you in the chest. Got to make that play.
You absolutely have to make that play. And Trent, he'd been calling for the ball earlier in the game, said he wanted it all year. Bolden and Houshmandzadeh, both of them, big drops in huge situations. Mike Tomlin loves it. Ben Roethlisberger once again beats Joe Flacco in a head-to-head matchup. The final score, the Steelers win it 31-24. Pittsburgh advances to the 15th conference championship game in team history, 7-7 all-time. They've won their last 2. That is the most since the 1970 AFL-NFL merger. Roethlisberger improves to 9-2 in his postseason career. He's won 7 straight starts against the Ravens, including playoffs. The Steelers move on.
That's classic. You know, they always have instant classic to ESPN. That's to be down 21-7 and to come back the way we did. Showed a bunch of resilient guys staying together and never giving up.
A lot of people put their hand in the pile and really contributed greatly to the win. Signature Steeler football plays came from a variety of people. Every man in the helmet was a potential playmaker.
Anytime you can beat them, it feels pretty good. But to be able to do it on the last, last drive we had, it's always special.
My mom always said, "Be careful what you ask for." You know, it seems like every time we get in the playoffs, they keep wanting to play us, and you know, at the end of the day, they got to worry about this loss the whole offseason.
It's nice that Walt Frazier loaned Hines Ward that jacket for the post-game news conference. Hey, the good news for the Ravens was they won on 1st and 2nd down. But the bad news was on 3rd down, Big Ben and company delivered. The Steelers converted 50% of their 3rd down opportunities, including 4 times of 10 yards or more. Of Baltimore's 5 conversions, none longer than 7 yards. Pittsburgh scored 2 of its 4 touchdowns on 3rd down and piled up 119 yards on 3rd down, 88 more than the Baltimore Ravens. You know, there's just certain things that seem to work out for certain guys against certain teams. And Merrill, we certainly see that play out time and time again with Big Ben against the Baltimore Ravens. And once again in the postseason, he showed us why he's led that team to 2 Super Bowls.
You know, we talk about great quarterbacks. You know, everybody, well, where do you put Ben? You know, I think he's one of the rare quarterbacks in the NFL. Can you think of different styles that you can play and you can win? He can play any style you want. If you want to play from the pocket, you want to be a rhythmic quarterback, he can do that as good as Peyton Manning or Tom Brady. If you want to get outside the pocket and make plays beyond that, he can do that where Peyton Manning and Tom Brady can't. Here's a great example of that. I can't think of another quarterback in football that can get a 4th and 1. When the Ravens won initially, his will, his size, his strength, his power gets him the 1st down. And then you talk about precision from the pocket, planting that back foot, ball coming out, accurate, on time, 3rd and 10, 1st down, 3rd and 19, almost a touchdown. That is big-time awareness from the pocket. He can play any style you want to play. Defending him is a nightmare. He, in a sense, elevates himself beyond a Peyton Manning or a Tom Brady because he can play that other style, that other dimension those two can't play. If you want to play in the pocket, he can play with anybody in the history of football. And what he did, Trent already mentioned it, he cemented himself as one of the great players in Steeler history. He wins a few more Super Bowls. He may be the greatest quarterback ever to play for the Pittsburgh.
Well, the other thing he has, you mentioned Brady and Manning, he's impossible to take down. And you saw his size really become a factor on that 4th and 1 where he just bowled his way to that 1st down. Trent, if we're talking about great offense and the things Pittsburgh can do with Ben Roethlisberger, it's a complete opposite story for the Baltimore Ravens. There was just no explosive plays at all, especially from the wide receiver position.
That's true. And if you're going to have a big stick and swing it around like the Baltimore Ravens do going into this game, you better deliver. And offensively, you had to deliver. And the problem here is that offensively, it was a total debacle. And all your mistakes were self-inflicted. You gave this thing to the Steelers in terms of bad offense. You start with the turnovers right here. The interception by Joe Flacco. It's just an egregious error on this throw. That's a corner I have to miss outside. And then the center snaps the ball too soon. Joe Flacco's trying to send somebody in motion. Talk about Joe Flacco, escapes the sack, moves out. Now he can turn this in just to a throwaway. Really a no-brainer down. Instead, he loses 10 yards. And then you talk about Anquan Bolton. This is a guy you paid a lot of money to come in and change the face of your offense. You don't get him involved. When you do, he drops the ball in the end zone. And then TJ Houshmandzadeh, always asking for the ball. Get me involved more, right? I'm going to make a play. The ball hits you in the chest, 4th and 18 to extend this game, and you can't make the play. This was a great example of the dysfunction of the Baltimore Ravens offense. Self-inflicted wounds. The defense plays okay, not great, but the offense doesn't hold up their end of the bargain.
Well, it was just a completely different half, and we'll get into that in just a minute. The second half as opposed to the first half for the Baltimore Ravens. By the way, the Steelers are the first team to come back in a playoff game after trailing by 14 points at the half since the Colts in 2006, when they were at one point down 18 in the first half against the Patriots. They were down 15 at the break there. A bitter pill, clearly, for the Ravens, as once again the Steelers knock them out of the tournament.
Is it heartbreaking for us to lose the way we lost? I mean, absolutely. But I think what you have to set aside is we had a heck of a year. We had a heck of a run at it. And when you come in and you play balls out the way we did first half, and then you go into the second half, and as soon as you start the game, you give the ball, it's too much of a momentum swing. They're already at home. They already got things going their way. And you turn the ball over, what, 3-4 times in the red zone? And on our side of the field, I mean, we were good. We're good, but I mean, to overcome all of that is really, harsh on my defense, and I wouldn't put that much on my defense because we went out and we played our hearts out today. You get into a game, you're supposed to finish people, finish them. Don't leave them around.
Ray sort of agreeing with you, Trent, there on the struggles for the offense. And you'll look, despite being outgained in the first two quarters, the Ravens actually took a 21-7 lead at half, but it was all the Steelers in the second half as Pittsburgh outscored Baltimore 24 to -3 and outgained the Ravens by more than 120 yards. Still coming, lots more on this game on NFL Primetime, including what to think of the Steelers as they move forward to yet another AFC Championship game. Meanwhile, it was the Green Bay Packers walking into Atlanta and walking out with a record-setting performance.
I'm in a timeout because apparently riding the dog like it's a small horse is frowned upon in this establishment. Luckily, though, I can conceal this bad boy underneath my blanket just so I can get on E-Trade, check my investment portfolio, research stocks. Wait, why are you taking... Oh, I see. Solitary. Just a man and his thoughts and a smartphone with an E-Trade app. Nobody knows.
E-Trade. Investing unleashed.
No one looks at trucks the way GMC engineers do. That's why this year is engineered with variable valve timing, active fuel management, and a 6-speed hydromatic transmission. It's the only truck that delivers over 300 horsepower and best-in-class V8 fuel economy. When you never compromise, you have nothing to hide. Get 0% financing for 60 months when you purchase a 2011 Sierra.
Down by 7. Final play for Detroit.
Only thing that would make this any better is overtime.
They'll need a miracle to win this football game. Harris slot right, drops back. Hines takes the pass at the 30. With the seam! Wow! Can you believe it? One man to beat! We're headed to overtime!
Buffalo Wild Wings. You have to be here.
Field goal for the win!
Guys, great job designing Repair View. Esurance customers love this app.
Yeah, daily photo updates sent to your phone so you can follow your car repair while it's in the shop.
That's what the Esurance tech team does. We innovate.
What else is on here?
Well, that's
Oh, Frank.
Daddy gets his dance on.
Nice kneecaps, bro.
Repair View at no extra cost. See for yourself at Esurance. Technology when you want it, people when you don't.
Sunday starts here. Boomer, TJ, Chris, Key, and Coach Ditka get you primed and ready for kickoff. Sunday NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. on ESPN. NFL Primetime is presented by E-Trade. Investing Unleashed. And in part by GMC. Vote for the GMC Never Say Never Moment of the Year at NFL.com/GMC.
NFC Divisional Playoff in Atlanta. Green Bay coming in there after taking out Michael Vick and the Eagles. Falcons hosting their first playoff game since the 2004 Divisional Playoff game. Aaron Rodgers trying to get his second win because clearly, in that playoff game where he put up 45, it was his fault. And then 3rd and 13, a perfect throw to Greg Jennings, but it's fumbled by Jennings. Someone will blame Aaron Rodgers for this. Brent Grimes recovers it for the Falcons. They take over the Packers 48. Next Falcons drive, Michael the Burner Turner wheels churning, and he's dead for the touchdown. That was a power run all the way, Merrill.
Well, their signature bend back run. Not only did they get the bend back, but then Michael Turner did the little Turner into the end zone.
They're up 7-0, Atlanta is. Remember that later when you see the final score. Aaron Rodgers buying time. Greg Jennings, 18, and that's a first down. Greg Jennings, 100 yards, 1 yard receiving on the day. Second quarter, same drive, second goal. Rodgers to Jordy Nelson. Gets it over the pylon, and we're tied at 7, just like that. By rule, Trent, you have to kick off.
I think it's a great rule, especially for the playoffs.
I think this is a great rule for Eric Weems in the regular season. Took a punt and a kickoff to the house, and now you're looking at the longest play in NFL playoff history in terms of scoring, 102 yards. Mason Crosby's a kicker, and he's about to be made to look like a kicker trying to, make a tackle.
Would you expect anything else from a kicker?
No, but there it is. Confirming what I said. Longest play in NFL postseason history, 102 yards. Next Packers possession, 2nd and 10, Rodgers. Boy, how many times did you see him do this? Get away from pressure, on the move, a perfect throw to James Jones, a tackle of a gain of 34 yards. Later on the drive, it's 3rd and 3. Rodgers, one of the few times they get to him, he's sacked, but wait a minute, there is a flag on the play. Let's take a look. It's an illegal contact on Jennings, and yeah, they got him right there. They're holding on to him. Mike Smith is a spot cross, a tad miffed, a bit might perturbed, but it gives the Pack a new set it out. B.J. Raji is your fullback. And they say you want to run to daylight.
I'm going to follow him. No, I'm going to follow
Don't run to daylight.
Raji.
Follow the eclipse that is B.J. Raji. John Kuhn with a touchdown to tie it at 14. And then Matt Ryan sacked by Charles Woodson coming off the edge. Boy, the defense was really mixing up the blitzes. And then Matt Ryan trying to make something happen, going deep, but he's late with the throw. Now Jenkins falls down, but Tramon Williams is there. Nice play, Trent.
Great play by Tramon Williams, but he's able to make the play because Matt Ryan's late trying to throw the ball down the rail. He got the safety, but he didn't get Tramon Williams.
So the Packers take over, and then just like that, James Jones, 20-yard catch for the touchdown, 21-14. He outjumps Brent Grimes.
Yeah, James Jones, nice performance, kind of redemption for him after last week's big drop. Made some big catches, contested catches, and nice runs after the catches.
So we've seen the turnovers into touchdowns in this game. So the Falcons trying to get something going right before the half, and it's Clay Matthews. Who else? A sack. Loss of 9. 10 seconds left in the half, and this is the one throw every quarterback wants back. It's Tramon Williams again. Had the pick to seal the game against Philadelphia. His second of this game to the house, 70 yards, and just like that, it's a 14-point swing.
And Atlanta does this a lot. Tramon Williams, you could tell, had studied tape, jumped that route beautifully. And then the end result is 6 for the Packers. And what a momentum swing as well.
Not only that, because they get the ball to start the second half. Third quarter, maybe they've got him pinned. It's 3rd and 13. He's like Butch Cassidy in the Sundance Kid. Can I move? I'm better when I move. A nice throw to James Jones for a gain of 15. Later on the drive, it's 3rd and 6. You're seeing these third down conversions again. Nelson over the middle. 14 keeps the drive alive. Same drive, 1st and goal. Rodgers surveys the field. I got nothing. I got wheels, I got athletic ability, and I got me a touchdown on the 7-yard run. Packers up 35-14. He's wearing the belt. Just over 6 minutes in the 3rd and 5. Rodgers once again avoids the sack, throws a dime on the move to Nelson. 79 yards and a touchdown on the day. Later on the drive, it's again 3rd down. Who else? Donald Driver this time for an 11-yard score. And then on 2nd and 6, inside the Falcons' 10-yard line, Rodgers. Time to John Kuhn. Get in there, John Kuhn. He's in there for the 7-yard score. Aaron Rodgers did not throw an incompletion in the red zone in this game. He was 31 of 36, 366 yards, 3 touchdowns. He leads the Packers to the most playoff points in their franchise history. Now would be a good time to point out the Packers have had a lot of playoff history, and they'll have a chance to write another one in the NFC Championship game.
Mike just got us in the rhythm early. I felt good about the calls. Guys made some big plays, and I just got into a rhythm, not only throwing the football, but moving around the pocket. And it was a special night.
Eric, were you surprised that Atlanta had no answer for your offense? You guys had no answer?
Well, I mean, we didn't punt today. It was, like I said, it was a special day. We kind of did what we wanted to do. We wanted to attack the middle of the field early, and then once they started taking that away, to work the, the stuff outside, the routes outside. Guys made some big plays. So James Jones, coming back after his drop. I know he was the sickest person in that locker room after last game, but I had confidence in him, and he had a great touchdown catch and a couple other very good plays. Donald Driver had a real big game tonight. I think that was a big key for us, getting him going. He had a number of great catch and runs for us.
Would you call this your best performance?
Yeah, this probably was my best performance. I think, at the stage that we were on and the importance of this game, and it was a good night.
I'm surprised you dominated the #1 seeded team in the Falcons.
Well, again, I've said this before. The way that I prepare and the way that our coaches prepare us, we expect to play well. So maybe not this well, but it was one of those nights where when things weren't working or weren't open, I was able to move in the pocket and avoid some of those free guys and make some big plays. So it was a special night.
Your coach said you like domes. Playing in domes. Was that true?
Yeah, I like playing in domes because the weather is perfect weather conditions, and I get to wear my favorite shoes, so my feet don't hurt.
A turnover when you guys score.
Right.
And a kick return when you guys score. How important was it to set that tempo?
I think that the second drive was probably the most important drive because we had, third play of the game, we fumble after a big play. They come down, score. And then we have a long, time-consuming drive, score. They run it back for a touchdown, and Starks fumbles the ball out of bounds. And we had the ball, I believe, on the 6, 7, 8 yard line. And to go 90-plus yards and score, really wore their defense down.
Is it just me, or did that man have a smirk on his face that entire press conference that was like, I told you I could do this?
I saw a smirk.
I saw a lot of them. Here's what he did. His completion percentage Saturday, the 5th highest in league history.
Pretty good.
He also set an NFL record for the most touchdown passes by a quarterback in his first 3 playoff starts with 10.
That's pretty good, too.
In 3 postseason games, Rodgers under center, the Packers are averaging 38 points per game and have broken the team postseason scoring record not once, but twice.
That's pretty good.
That is also pretty good. So technically, the numbers, Trent, are 31 of 36. What the heck happened on the 5? I never saw. I don't know what happened on the 5 he incompleted.
You can't remember him. I tell you, it's as fine a quarterbacking performance as we've seen in the playoffs in a long time. And the guy was just brilliant. In fact, Aaron Rodgers was so brilliant, this will be what we call a teaching tape. This entire offseason, there's going to be quarterbacks going in the film room and watching this game to learn how to play the position. But really separated this game tonight by Aaron Rodgers was his ability to take plays that were going to be stinky sandwiches and turn them into ice cream cones. What I mean by that is extending the play, turn a bad play into good. William Moore, free rusher. This can be a sack, fumble. No, Aaron Rodgers makes you miss, and his ability to throw the ball accurately from multiple foot platforms. He's in the air when he delivers that ball to James Jones on the sideline. Once again, Aaron Rodgers looking downfield, not there, going to extend it to his right. Visions out to the right, instinctively feels Donald Driver in the middle of the field, off balance, across his body, delivering it to Donald Driver, converting a big 3rd down. Once again, free rusher, little spin move right there. Get out on the perimeter, off balance to his left. Anticipation to James Jones, 1st down, avoiding another rusher. That's teaching tape. Ball away from Abraham's arm. Get to your right, find your receiver, deliver the ball. Aaron Rodgers, as brilliant tonight, off rhythm as I've ever seen him. He's always dominant from the pocket on rhythm. Tonight, guys, he was tremendous, breaking those plays, extending them, and turning, like I said, those stinky sandwiches into ice cream cones.
Well, again, so many 3rd down conversions that he made because he was able to move athletically in the pocket. He's 2-1 now as a starter in the postseason. In the one game he lost, the defense gave up 51 points. So clearly, he did not play well in that game where he scored 45. Speaking of defenses, that's the difference. Listen, we can talk about quarterback play and all this kind of stuff. Teams win games. You have to have all phases working.
Love you.
In that 51-point game, the defense was nowhere to be found. In this game, they created so much confusion and got turnovers out of that Falcons team, which had not done that a lot in the regular season.
It's okay to get giddy over those quarterbacks, you know, but at the end of the day, you said it exactly right. Whoever wins the Super Bowl, it'll be the best team. Not the best quarterback and not just the best defense, the best team. And when you look at the Green Bay Packers, they may look like the best team right now, especially what they're doing defensively. When you look at their offense, they had 67 plays. That means the Packer defense only 43. Well, they have great blitz packages. They can come from all areas of the field, and they have guys that can finish once they get there. And here's what I love about them. When they don't blitz, their secondary and their coverage aspects are beautiful for the first part of the play, and then their pass rush pressure from their down 4 or 3 do a great job of finishing that. Their secondary is working well together. Obviously, they study a bunch of tape, so they anticipate things. They understand their opponent as good as anybody. Dom Capers, their defensive coordinator, has really built this defense over the last few years. A defense, you know, trying to get guys to play the linebacker position in a 3-4. Getting defensive linemen that understand how to play it in a 3-4 where there's only 3 down linemen. And then all the blitz concepts that come from that. Understanding how to use Charles Woodson and moving as a chess piece. Similar they do as Troy Polamalu in Pittsburgh. I mean, to see what they have done with this defense and where they're playing now versus a few years ago, it is very scary. And if they only have to, if the Falcons had 43 plays tonight, that's how you play great defense.
Right.
If you only have to go on the field for 43 times and play like they play, this team is awfully hard. They have one flaw: kickoff coverage. And they're not going to want to go into that meeting. Yeah. That's a problem. They got to get that straightened out.
Eric Weems was a Pro Bowler this year. That's why. He had an unbelievable year. But you think of the injuries that the Packers have had on defense. So many players that they've lost, and they're still coming up with this unit.
To me, that speaks of leadership. And you look at Mike McCarthy, doesn't get enough credit for his leadership because you got to take control of your team and you got to give them somebody to believe in, and that is this guy, your head coach who stands before you, and then he tells you how we're going to go about it. Because you look at some of the people that they lost, you thought, well, the Packers will probably be okay, but they will never be like a juggernaut like they are right now. They are as red hot as any offense in football.
Strength of mind, strength of will. Coach McCarthy, that's what he preaches. That's what this team's bought, and they've really proven that. Just the ability to stay focused on the task at hand and not get caught up in all the injuries and drama they've absorbed as a football team.
6 times in the regular season, the Packers held the opposition to single digits, including a shutout of the Jets. The last 2 times they've done that in the regular season, they've gone on to win the Super Bowl. Wow. None of this makes Mike Smith and the Atlanta Falcons feel very happy. Listen, the 3 straight winning seasons for the Falcons, that's never happened before in franchise history, but right now Mike Smith and his quarterback Matt Ryan 0-2 in the postseason.
All week when we came to practice, we were focused, and we just did not play Atlanta Falcon football the way that the Atlanta Falcons have played all season long.
You know, anytime you're in the playoffs, you have an opportunity to go win it all, and when that doesn't happen, I think it's frustrating.
They were the better team today. My hat's off to them. They are moving on. We'll be a better team and learn from this experience. Every day, whether you win, lose, it's a learning experience, and it's something that we will learn from.
We did a lot of things well this year, and we've got a chance to build on some of the things that we did this year. We've got a lot of people coming back, a lot of young talent. And we certainly expect to be right back in this position next year and get a different outcome.
Well, the Falcons won 7 of 8 games at the Georgia Dome in the regular season, with their only loss coming in that Monday nighter, 17-14 versus the Saints. Different story Saturday, with Atlanta surrendering 48 points, the second most by a home team in NFL postseason history. Anybody know the most?
I do not.
It was 1940. The Bears went to Washington and hung 73.
Well, that's why.
On the Redskins.
I was 2 years old.
They also turned the ball over 4 times with 30. Half as many giveaways as they had in all 8 home games in the regular season. Actually, I think you were covering that game for NFL Primetime. When we continue, much more on this game as well, and just how serious do we think the Packers are about running the table on the road and getting to the Super Bowl? Plus, what to make of the other bad blood game coming up, Jets-Patriots Part 3. There's been some talk, just a little.
Taco Bell's new 99-cent Beefy Crunch Burrito. Lots of beefy, add some cheesy, and pile on the crunchy with Flamin' Hot Fritos chips. That's right, it's a deal worth crunching about.
Introducing the ESPN Pack from Sprint ID. One-click access to scores, fantasy, apps, ESPN mobile TV, and more. Visit Sprint.com/ESPN.
Ovi. Hey, what's up? What are you doing in the dark, man?
Nothing, just the late night filings.
Really? Late night filing? What are you, a Russian spy or something?
Yeah, right.
All right, I'll catch you later.
Yeah, see ya.
Пронесло.
Да уж, чуть не спалили.
ESPN 3D is here. Contact your video provider or visit espn.com/3D.
Buongiorno. New Subway pesto sandwiches. Dim the lights and say ciao to the new pesto turkey. Seasoned in a zesty pesto sauce, flourishing with garlic and basil for fantastical flavor. This surprisingly low-fat sandwich is as breathtaking as the rolling hills of Toscana. Or experience the molto delicioso new pesto chicken melt. Grilled to juicy perfection and layered in melty cheese on a freshly baked 9-grain wheat bread. The new pesto sandwiches. Crank up the flavor at Subway.
Through 1, through 2, splits him, still has it. Serve and a goal, that is gorgeous! Bornstein!
Is history made tonight? Yeah! Goal number 35, Landon Donovan. At the other end, Kleshkin gets his first, second, and third international goal.
January is where history is made. Don't miss the opening match of 2011 when the USA faces Chile Saturday, January 22nd at the Home Depot Center. For tickets, call Ticketmaster or visit ussoccer.com.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime, presented by E-Trade.
Well, it was definitely a Saturday night to remember for Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. As the 6th seed, they walked into the Falcons' home and absolutely picked them apart. Real big momentum swing was the pick 6 here thrown by Matt Ryan right before the half. Tramon Williams, his second interception of the first half, 70 yards to the house. That made it 28-14. The Packers got the ball back to start the second half, and there would be more smiles from Mike McCarthy. Aaron Rodgers threw for 366 and 3 touchdowns and also ran one in as it was a rout, 48-21. After the game, Ed Werder with one of Aaron Rodgers' targets.
James, you guys were tremendous on offense, didn't punt all night, 35 consecutive points. How important was it you handled that early adversity with the 2 deficits?
Well, we knew coming in the game, that's what Atlanta's offense did. They controlled the ball well. So we knew on offense we had to put together long drives as well. So that was what we worked on, in practice. And we came out here and we executed well.
Last week you had the drop of a potential touchdown pass against the Eagles. Tonight, after a week of being barred by your teammates' redemption, describe that play.
Man, it felt real good. I had a ball in my stomach all week because, when you drop a ball like that, you feel like you let your teammates down, especially at a stage like this in the season. So, I finally got that knot out of my stomach. It still hurts because I wish I would have made that one too, but I told him I owed him one today.
Aaron Rodgers came into this game as the highest-rated playoff quarterback in history. His rating went up after tonight. How good was he?
Man, he's phenomenal, man. But just the way the guy works, during the week, he's going to come out and play well. We just try to rally behind him. He's the leader of this team. We try to rally behind him and make some plays for him.
All right, James, thanks very much. The Packers in the NFC Championship game. Next.
Thank you, Ed. When we continue, we'll look ahead to the games on Sunday, what to make of the rematch between the Seahawks and the Bears, and what to make of Act 3 between New England and New York. It has been a war of words. How will it play out in Foxborough?
Redesigned Power E-Trade Pro. It's like hardwiring the market right into my desktop. Launch my watch list, a popping stock catches my eye. Pull up the price chart, see what the analysts say. As I jump back, CNBC confirms what I thought. Pull the trigger, done. I can even do most of this on my smartphone. Really, it's incredible. Like nothing I've ever experienced. Unleash your investing and trade free for 60 days with E-Trade.
This Tuesday.
That's Reese.
From the filmmakers who brought you Resident Evil and Death Race comes an all-new movie. Danny Trejo, Ving Rhames. Death Race 2, unrated. Own it Tuesday.
what point does nowhere become somewhere? Is it when the first traffic light is hung? Is it with the addition of a new mall? Or is it when 12 guys unite as one?
I know you're tired, but I don't care. Let's go.
And give everyone a reason to care where they came from. 2, 3, ESPN, the home court of college hoops.
ABC Wednesday, February 9th, Matthew Perry returns to television in a new arena of comedy.
You tell Springsteen that I'm the boss of this arena. Don't tell him that.
ABC's Mr. Sunshine premieres Wednesday, February 9th on ABC.
If I was the New Orleans Saints, I would not blitz him. I would put the extra guys in coverage. Picked up. Look out. Gets past Merrill. And it's Tracy Porter taking it all the way. Touchdown, New Orleans.
You are watching NFL Primetime, presented by E-Trade.
I mean, this is a huge rivalry, type games. Anything goes this week.
Do you really hate Tom Brady?
Yeah, I do.
I've been called worse.
This is about Bill Belichick versus Rex Ryan.
I might have a little quickness on him. He's probably got a little more strength and power on me.
You got your foot up in the air when to go out there and just put your best foot forward. Really, just us go out there and being good little foot soldiers.
That's a one-game season. You lose this when you go home.
I think this is, without question, would be the second biggest game in the history of the franchise.
So to recap, the Jets and Patriots really don't like each other at all. And it will be the third matchup. Jets won the first one, but Trent, week 13, they went up to Foxborough, and they were dissected by that Patriots offense and Tom Brady, 45-3. As you look at the film, what do you expect from this Patriots offense the third time around? Something like the first game? Or more like the second game?
I think much like the second game, because what I'm seeing this Patriots team do, I've never seen, as long as I've been around the National Football League, anything like it. What they're doing with the versatility in their offense. You take the first half of the football game in their second matchup, and what the New England Patriots did was absolutely remarkable. They had 33 first half plays, and those first 33 plays, they used 26 different formations, 14 different personnel groupings. Of those 14 personnel groupings, 10 of them were with 2 or more tight ends. Now, to put that into context for everybody, and Merrill and I have talked about this, typically I would guess you would use about 8 different formations in the first half of a football game, maybe a handful of personnel groupings, 4 to 6. 26 and 14. It's remarkable, and because of it, they get so many favorable matchups. They just dictate the terms offensively. Here's a basic 3-receiver set. Wes Welker's in the slot. He's going to motion into the fullback position and create an 8-man box by the New York Jets man-to-man look. But watch effectively what it does. Wes Welker's going to cross underneath, pick off the person covering Danny Woodhead, and also get Revis to cover him, freeing up Danny Woodhead for a free 30-yard chunk of yards. Now you're going to put 2 wide receivers to the left, a tight end, a running back, but you're going to put Algie Crumpler on the outside. That's going to force Darrelle Revis out there. What does that effectively do? It allows you to get Wes Welker in a passing situation on a linebacker, Bart Scott. Now look at this from Tom Brady's perspective. He knows you've displaced all the secondary people on tight ends and running backs. Now you get a wide receiver on a linebacker. This is stealing offense. Get 4 fast guys to the left of the formation. Get 7 DBs on the football field. Now they're going to force the Jets into an outside rush, 3 outside blitzers. Total void in the middle of the football field. A quick little pitch, basic zone run concept out of the pitch play to Danny Woodhead, and you steal yards. This is what the New England Patriots doing better than anything I've ever seen, is steal yards out there using formations and personnel groupings, and they'll do it again.
They stole yards. They stole 45 points. So obviously, Merrill, the Jets defense has got to do something different than what they did the last time around. How are they going to make sure that happens?
Well, keep in mind, they're going to watch the tape and they're going to make adjustments. They're not just going to come out and say, well, let's see if we can try the same thing, if it'll work. In fact, there were some things lost in that last matchup. Even though they got blown out, they did some things that I think you'll see more of in this game, especially early. A combination of this. We already talked about the 7 defensive backs. When you have them on the field, you got to play press, man-to-man at the line of scrimmage. Disrupt and attack those wide receivers. And then what you have to have is good, quick pressure after that. As Tom Brady starts to the left, you have those wide receivers pressed, man-to-man, great coverage. And with the free blitzer, he must finish, which he does here. Let's go to the next play. This is what I think may be the most critical element of this one. Still 7 defensive backs. Still pressed man-to-man. But here's where a majority of the pressures have to come from. In the middle of the field, the tackle will go across the guard's face. That pulls the guard in because he's got to get off when that linebacker scoops around. Well, here comes Harris. He comes quick and fast in Tom Brady's face, and the tight end wasn't covered until late because the safety made a mistake. That is what the Jets have to do. The focus in this one, attack in the middle of the field. Make both guards and centers play and get after Tom Brady along with pressing on the outside. And Cromartie on the outside, when he plays press man-to-man, use your hands. He's a great athlete, but fundamentally he struggles with these hands. That's why people are attacking him. So he'll have to play fundamentally better in this one. And Darrelle Revis, as you showed one time he was lined up wide, I believe he's a wild card in this one. I believe he's around the box. He's a moving chess piece for the Jets, moving him all over around the box, covering a variety of receivers, not out wide, covering Algie Crumpler.
The more New England has 3 receivers on the field, like Merrill was showing, the more the advantage goes to the Jets. The New England really has their big advantage when the more tight ends they put on the field. That's when they have their most success.
And let's remember, the Friday before that last Week 13 matchup, Jim Leonard, who does so much for the secondary for the Jets, was lost for the season with a broken leg. The Jets had a scare a little bit like that this week with Drew Coleman injuring his knee. He had an MRI. They do expect him to play on Sunday. When we continue here on NFL Primetime, one of those two teams is going to play and win for the right to face the Pittsburgh Steelers in the AFC Championship game. We'll go back to that game.
Join Boomer and the gang for Sunday NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. on ESPN.
This is not a workout. This is a revolution. This is shake weight for men, and it's going to kick your butt.
Whew, that's it.
In just 6 minutes. Guaranteed. Ordinary weights isolate one muscle in one direction, but shake weight harnesses the power of dynamic inertia to totally redefine strength training. As you shake, the weights at each end fire and recoil rapidly. This piston-like motion sends a shockwave of energy that forces your muscles to contract as many as 240 times a minute. So you build definition, size, and strength fast. And now this technological breakthrough in strength training can be yours for just $29.95. Shake weight is science fact, not fiction. A leading biomechanics research center proved that 6 minutes with the shake weight burns as much muscle energy as 42 with a standard dumbbell. You get ripped, defined, and stronger, fast, guaranteed. Call and order now, and we'll also send you this 6-minute upper body workout DVD. It's everything you need to add size, definition, and strengthen your chest, triceps, biceps, and shoulders. Technology is all about packing mega performance in less space, right? Shake weight proves it. That's why it comes with this ironclad kick butt guarantee. Do the shake weight workout just once. If your arms, chest, and shoulders aren't on fire in just 6 minutes, return it for a 100% refund. We'll even pay return shipping.
Whew, that's it.
3 exercises, 6 minutes, and the faster you shake, the more intense and challenging your workout. Think you can handle it? Then call now and build muscle and definition in just 6 minutes a day with Shake Weight for Men.
It's freezing.
The divisional playoffs are here on Sunday NFL Countdown. Chicago's defense is studying a different type of game film.
We watch a lot of things, aggressive style things.
See how the Bears plan on using their animal instincts to prey on the surprising Seahawks. And New England running back Danny Woodhead shares his journey down a road paved with perseverance.
Until the door's completely shut. I'm not going to stop.
All this and more, Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern on Sunday NFL Countdown. Join us.
Well, once again, the Steelers and Ravens met in the postseason, and once again, Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers prevailed. Fourth quarter tied at 24. 3rd and 19. One of 4 third-down conversions of 10 yards or more. Antonio Brown hauls it in. A little David Tyree action, hugging that to the side of the helmet for 58 yards. Led to a Rashard Mendenhall touchdown. Came down to this, 4th and 18, and Joe Flacco throws a perfect strike, but T.J. Hushmanzada, no. And just like that, Big Ben and the Steelers advance to the AFC title game. Here's Bob Holtzman with more.
Twice on their final offensive drive, it looked as if the Steelers had been stopped. Then came a slant to Hines Ward to convert a 3rd and 10, followed by a long completion to little-used rookie Antonio Brown on 3rd and 19. And just like that, Ben Roethlisberger had beaten the Ravens again.
We don't like to put ourselves in those situations. We'd like to just drive the ball on first down and whatever, but it comes down to that last play and everyone digs a little deeper.
Ben came in the huddle and said, we're going to go down and we're going to score this. And everyone believed and got on board.
He may not be Brady or all the other guys, but you can't knock the guy for what he's done. And history show, he's a proven winner against Baltimore. He's a proven winner in the playoffs. And me as a player, I'm just glad to be a part. When I see him in the huddle, I know I've always got a chance to win a ball game with him being in the huddle.
It's not always how you draw it up. But he has a no-blink mentality. He is a competitor and a winner, and those guys follow him.
When Roethlisberger left the field, Mike Tomlin greeted him outside the locker room with a new nickname, Raven Killer. Roethlisberger has now beaten Baltimore 7 straight times, but when he was asked about it after the game, he offered the same explanation he did a few days ago. Luck. In Pittsburgh, Bob Holtzman, ESPN.
Bob, thank you. I continue to be amazed by the jacket that Hines Ward was wearing. When we come back, a look ahead at what to expect between the Seahawks and the Bears. I mean, that was Clyde Frazier-esque.
Agreed.
It's game time, and you've only got $5. Taco Bell's Touchdown $5 Box. Get a beefy crunch burrito, crunch wrap supreme, crunchy taco, cinnamon twists, and a nice cold medium soda. The Touchdown $5 Box, only at Taco Bell.
Your lives depend on these defenses.
Did you hear that? What happened to my men? The SEAL people. I'm not leaving them to die.
Open the gate!
The Eagle.
They'll never catch us on foot. Have you seen them run?
Rated PG-13.
Right now, all over the country, Discover customers are getting 5% cashback bonus at restaurants. It pays to switch. It pays to Discover.
ESPN, your NBA destination. Get your hoops fix Martin Luther King weekend on ESPN. Tomorrow night, Carmelo Anthony takes the Nuggets into San Antonio for a tilt with Tony Parker and the league-leading Spurs. Monday afternoon at a special time, 1 Eastern, Derrick Rose, Carlos Boozer, and the Bulls battle Rudy Gay and the Grizzlies in Memphis. Tomorrow, Nuggets Spurs at 9. Then Monday, Bulls Grizzlies at 1 on ESPN.
Hi, I'm Mike Sullivan. Welcome to Lexus Santa Monica. I'm awfully proud of this store. We've tried to create not only a beautiful display of our product, but a great showcase of our employees. I've got so many employees that have been with us all 20 years of Lexus existence. I think that we've created a great shopping experience, beautiful display of cars. I think that you can feel it, and I think it's what sets us apart from the rest of my friends in the competition.
Right now, Lexus Santa Monica has 0 down on all 2010 models.
A cozy fireplace, a beautiful handcrafted mantle, a functional barbecue island. At Thousand Oaks Fireside and Design, all you need is your imagination. Our expert staff will guide you at our newly designed showroom. From sleek and modern to stately and traditional and everything in between, it's all here at Thousand Oaks Fireside and Design, 104 East Thousand Oaks Boulevard in Thousand Oaks, and 3 other locations to serve you.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the NFC West is still alive and well. The Seahawks go into Chicago, have a chance to take down the Bears. Now, one of the reasons, Trent, they have that chance, clearly Matthew Hasselbeck saw something against the Saints that he really liked against that defense in the regular season and also in the playoffs. Does he have that same comfort level against a Bears defense, which is pretty good?
He really does. When when it fits his eye right, now he can play with you in the secondary. He can manipulate the secondary. He's a veteran guy, has a lot of tricks of the trade. Look right here, you got Tampa 2 zone. He's going to target Chris Harris. Watch this right now. Now you see Chris Harris in the picture-in-picture. The pump fake, he bites the inside seam. Matthew pumps it outside down the rail for the big completion. Next play, Chris Harris, you got something. Now Daniel Manning, it's your turn to get toyed with a little bit. Matthew pumps. Daniel Manning bites on the inside vertical. Pushes it down the rail to Butler for a touchdown. Now, what's your answer, Chicago Bears? You're going to blitz, right? Well, guess what? Matthew Hasselbeck's going to read your mail. He knows you're coming. He points you out. He changes the direction of his back-to-back. Forsett. Going to put Forsett. Yes, I did. Forsett up inside. Stones the safety. Hasselbeck sees it. Clear picture. Chunk yards across the middle of the football field. When Matthew Hasselbeck can read your mail pre-snap, he will manipulate you in the secondary, and he will have his way throwing that football around.
And we have to talk about the Bear offense then and where they are now, because they struggled against the Seattle Seahawks, especially in protection, and not just of knowing who to protect and working together. Seattle had 6 sacks, and all were guys unaccounted for. Tackle, in this case, has to block the guy on the line of scrimmage. Well, now the linebacker moves up. The running back going 1-2 has to adjust. The tackle, I can't blame him from working down because that linebacker's threatening that B gap. Well, the back doesn't adjust, he doesn't work out. Now, rather the tackle or the back was, end of the day, you have a free rusher after Jay Cutler. 6 times this happened in this matchup. The Bears were about throwing the football, spreading it all over the place. After this game, they tightened the formations down. More tight ends, more 2-backs on the field, and they still ran the football, but they threw out of it. They gave teams little run action. At the snap of the ball, look at Jay Cutler. Looked like it's going to be a handoff. Look what this does to the second and third level defenders. Freezes them for just a second, think and run, and you get Kellen Davis, the other tight end, wide open in the middle of the field. And not only do you get chunks of yards, but you got points out of the passing game. Giles would love that aspect. So this Bear offense, much different than the first time they played Seattle. They looked like the run and shoot the first time they played them. No longer are they like that. They run the football a lot better with Matt Forte. They pull their offensive line once they do it. They have tight ends, backs in the process. A different offense Seattle will deal with this time.
Seattle Seahawks, it's worth saying, are 1 win away from 2 things happening. 1, getting to 500, and 2, hosting the NFC Championship game. Of course, Chicago wins, they host as well. When we continue on a wild NFL primetime on the divisional round, game balls. Who gets them? You'll see.
So, Benny, I'm proud of you. Welcome to the 21st century.
Well, thank you very much.
You're on E-Trade, hunting down stocks, bonds, ETFs.
Oh, I love ETFs.
Look at you. Why don't you show me your portfolio? I'd love to.
I already logged out.
Oh, no, it's easy, actually, to get back. See where it says history?
Is it history?
Yeah, we'll take you right back to the site that you were just on.
That last site.
And now, cycle complete. The male wildebeest returns to propagate the herd.
Can you forward me this link?
E-Trade. Investing Unleashed. A fully boxed steel frame. A proven Duramax diesel engine. And the same make of transmission found in an M1 tank. Introducing the 2011 Sierra HD, the strongest, smartest, most powerful Sierra, including the first Denali. Never send a truck to do a Sierra's job.
What's that?
Oh, you mean this giant check for 522 big ones? It's just the staggering amount of money I save people on average when they call me, the saver, to switch their car insurance to Esurance.
You mean the same amount they save when they switch to Esurance online?
Do we have any giant envelopes?
Cost $522.
You take a check?
You could save 522 big ones. See for yourself at Esurance. Technology when you want it, people when you don't.
NFL Primetime is presented by E-Trade, Investing Unleashed, and in part by GMC. Enter the Never Say Never sweepstakes for a chance to win a GMC Sierra Denali at gmc.com/NFL.
NBA action Sunday and Monday on ESPN. Sunday night, Carmelo and the Nuggets visit the NBA's top team, the San Antonio Spurs, at 9 Eastern after prime time. Then Monday afternoon, it's a Martin Luther King Day special. Rudy Gay and the Memphis Grizzlies host Derrick Rose and the Bulls. Monday, 1 Eastern on ESPN. All right, time for game balls. Trent Dilfer, start us off.
Really easy here. Aaron Rodgers, one of the greatest quarterback performances you'll see in the playoffs. He was nearly flawless, carried his team. Unbelievable Aaron Rodgers.
Captain Obvious.
Merrill, not difficult here. Ben Roethlisberger continues to cement his greatness in Pittsburgh. When it mattered the most in the critical moments, he came up big time, leading the Steelers over the Ravens to victory.
Treylers over the Ravens.
Yeah,
that is correct. If I had a game ball, producer Rob, I would have given it to Tramon Williams because he was tremendous. 2 picks and 1 to the house. Thanks for watching.